Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I rise in support of farmers and producers all across these United States, and especially in the 7th Congressional District of Alabama. As we debate and discuss issues surrounding the Agriculture Appropriation Bill, let us remain mindful of the enormous impact that the agriculture sector has had on the United States and our world economy. Agriculture employs more than 21 million American workers and accounts for 15% of the total U.S. workforce. In fact, in my home state of Alabama, agriculture contributes nearly $5 billion to the state's economic sector every year. Any agriculture appropriations bill must take into account the potential economic impact and the strengthening of agriculture sector that is needed for the 21st century. I understand that we are making very difficult budgetary decisions. However, I am concerned that the types of cuts proposed in this year's agriculture appropriation bill are ill-advised and disproportionate. This bill reduces the funding for agricultural research programs, including the Agricultural Research Service and the National Institute of Food and Agriculture, by over $354 million from last year's level. Now, I know that that's a substantial cut in very important research that must be done both nationally and within our individual states. In fact, the National Institute for Food and Agriculture, fulfills this mission by supporting research, education, and extension programs at land-grant universities like those in Alabama, Auburn, Tuskegee, Alabama A&M universities, and others. We must preserve funding for each of these critical and important investments in the future of agriculture research and food safety. Now, under the Republican appropriation bill, food and nutrition programs like SNAP and Children Nutrition are funded at nearly $2 billion less than the President's budget. SNAP is an important and essential program in these challenging times for low-income individuals who cannot afford to purchase food for themselves and their families. Since the program was created, SNAP has literally saved millions of lives and currently provides essential support to over 165,000 individuals in my district alone. The proposed funding for Women, Infants, and Children Food Assistance Program, WIC as it's known, is far below what is needed to serve all those individuals who are eligible for the benefit. WIC provides essential nutrition to new mothers, babies, and small children under 5 that are nutritionally at risk. Nearly 50% of the babies born in our country each year rely on WIC. In Alabama, WIC provides assistance to over 140,000 individuals and over 25,000 just in my district alone. Contrary to popular belief, this program is efficient, and it serves nearly 10 million people each year, costing less than $100 per person receiving benefit. The lack of proper funding in this appropriation bill is yet another example of Republican attack on hardworking families and children that definitely need assistance for nutrition. I cannot stand idly by and let this occur. We must ensure that any appropriations bill provides robust and adequate funding for these essential programs both now and in the future. The Republican Agriculture Appropriation Bill reduces funding for essential rural development programs by $337 million below last year's levels. Now, these reductions disproportionately impact loan authority for 502 direct housing programs. Without these loans, low-income rural families could not find financing options that would help them purchase homes and simply be able to live. This bill also seeks to reduce funding for agriculture business and rural business grants by $20 million below last year's levels. In a time of economic recovery, we must continue to make strategic investments in small and rural businesses and not make reductions. It is important that we who know better do better. Agriculture in our global society is of the utmost importance. As our global population increases, Food security and adequate food production will be necessary for our national security, economic development, and our overall survival. It is my hope that all on both sides of the aisle will pass an agricultural appropriations bill that is both fiscally responsible, forward-thinking, and makes economic sense. I yield back the rest of my time.